Welcome to Small Stories, Big Healing, where old teachings speak softly into modern lives.
When you cannot say no, when every request feels like a rope around your wrists, what happens to your own life? Have you ever agreed to something while your heart quietly whispered, "I don't have the strength for this"? Have you smiled and nodded even as your inner world grew tired, heavy, and a little resentful? Today's story is for the gentle souls who carry too much, for the people who try to keep everyone warm even while they are freezing inside. Once upon a time, in a seaside town where the wind smelled of salt and pine, there lived a woman named Marisol. Marisol was known for her kindness. If someone needed help, she was already on her way. If someone asked for her time, she gave it, like water poured without measuring. At first, people praised her. "She is so generous," they said. "She has such a good heart." But kindness, when it has no boundaries, can become a quiet kind of suffering. Marisol worked at a small community workshop where people repaired nets, painted boats, and built simple tools for fishing. It was honest work, steady work, and Marisol was good at it. Yet every day, before she even tied her apron, someone would call her name. "Marisol, can you cover my shift? Marisol, can you help me carry this? Marisol, can you finish this order for me? Marisol, can you come to my home after work and fix this?" And Marisol would say again and again, yes. Even when her body was tired, even when her head ached, even when her own chores waited at home like unwashed dishes in a dark sink. Her yes was quick, automatic, almost frightened, like she feared what would happen if she refused. Weeks passed, then months. One evening, Marisol walked home under a sky the color of bruised lavender. Her hands were sore, her shoulders tight. She reached her front door, and for a moment, she simply stood there, unable to move. Inside her home was quiet, too quiet. Her garden was untended, her meals had become small and careless, her laughter, once easy, had grown rare. She sat at her table and stared at an empty bowl. And in that stillness, she finally admitted the truth aloud, as if speaking to the walls. "I have been helpful, but I have not been well." The next morning, Marisol went to the market early, hoping for a calm start. But calm did not come. A man hurried up to her, breathless. "Marisol, I need you to help me rebuild my stall today. The wind damaged it last night." Before she could answer, another woman approached. "Marisol, can you watch my children this afternoon? I have errands." Then someone else called from across the road. "Marisol, please, I promised a delivery and I'm behind. Could you do it for me?" Their voices stacked like stones on her chest. Marisol opened her mouth and the old yes tried to escape. But something in her paused, like a lamp flickering before it dies. She felt her heart beating hard, not with anger, but with fear. Fear of disappointing them, fear of being disliked, fear of being called selfish. She looked down at her hands. They were cracked and raw. And that is when she noticed something at the edge of the market, near the old fountain. An elderly man sat beneath a small shade tree. His hair was white, and his posture was calm, like someone who had learned to live without rushing. Before him was a simple sight, a bamboo basket filled with smooth stones. One by one, he lifted a stone, turned it gently in his palm, and placed it back, quietly, thoughtfully, like he was listening to the weight of it. Marisol had seen him before, but never spoken to him. Today, she walked over, drawn by the stillness around him. The old man looked up, his eyes soft. "You carry many stones," he said. Marisol blinked. I don't understand." He motioned to the basket. "Sit," he said. "For a moment, sit." Marisol hesitated, then sat on the edge of the fountain. The old man lifted the basket slightly and placed it near her. "Put your hands inside," he said. Marisol did as he asked. The stones were cool and heavy. "Now," the old man said gently, "lift the basket." Marisol tried. It rose a little, and then her arms began to tremble. "It's heavy," she whispered. The old man nodded. "Yes." He pointed to one stone near the top. "Take one out." Marisol removed it. "Now lift it again." She did. It was still heavy, but easier. "Take another out," he said. She removed another stone. Again she lifted. Each time she removed a stone, her arms felt less strained. After several stones were out, she lifted the basket with surprising ease. Marisol looked at the old man, confused and curious. He smiled faintly. "This is your life," he said. Marisol's throat tightened. "My life?" He gestured toward the basket. "These stones are your yeses. Each one is a promise you have made, a favor, a task, a duty, a rescue." Marisol stared at the stones she had removed, now scattered beside her like a small pile of silent burdens. "But I'm just trying to be kind," she said. The old man's voice stayed calm, like water flowing around a rock. "Kindness is good," he said, "but kindness without wisdom becomes a weight that crushes the one who carries it." Marisol's eyes filled with tears, not dramatic, not loud, just honest. "I don't know how to stop," she admitted. "If I say no, they will be upset. They will think I don't care." The old man picked up a single stone and held it near her. "Look closely," he said. Marisol looked. The stone was smooth, but it had a thin crack across one side. "This stone has been carried too long," the old man said. "It has been pressed too hard. Even stone can break." He placed it back in her palm. "Your heart is not stone," he continued. "It is softer. It needs rest. It needs space. It needs care." Marisol swallowed. "So what do I do?" she asked. "How do I say no without becoming cruel?" The old man's eyes brightened slightly, as if he had been waiting for that question. He pointed to the fountain. Water flowed steadily from a small spout, spilling into the basin below. "Do you see the water?" he asked. "Yes," Marisol whispered. "Water gives," the old man said. "It nourishes, it cleans, it supports life, but it does not pour itself dry in one moment to satisfy everyone. It flows at a steady pace. It keeps its source protected." He leaned in a little, voice gentle. "Your yes must be like water," he said, "not like a flood that destroys its own banks." Marisol looked down. In her chest, something loosened, like a knot finally understanding it can untie. The old man continued. "Some people will always bring empty cups," he said, "and if you keep pouring, you will forget you also need to drink." Marisol took a slow breath. "I am afraid," she admitted. "I'm afraid that no one will need me anymore." The old man nodded, as if he understood this fear well. "Listen carefully," he said. "People may need you less, but they may respect you more. And more importantly, you will finally belong to yourself." Marisol sat in silence. The market noise continued around them, but it sounded far away now, like waves in the distance. Then she asked quietly,
what if I disappoint someone? The old man smiled. Disappointment is not always harm, he said. Sometimes it is simply the moment another person learns they cannot live by borrowing your strength. Marisol felt those words settle inside her, heavy at first, then steady.
She stood up slowly. The old man pointed to the stones on the ground. "Choose which stones return to the basket," he said. "Not all of them are yours to carry." Marisol stared at the stones. She realized something. Some yeses were true commitments, important, meaningful, aligned with her values, but many were only fear wearing the mask of kindness. She picked up a few stones and put them back into the basket. Then she looked at the others, the ones that did not belong. She left them on the ground. For the first time, she felt lighter. Not because life had changed, but because she had changed how she held it. Marisol returned to the market path where people still waited with requests. A woman approached quickly. "Marisol, can you watch my children this afternoon?" she asked. Her heart beat fast. Her throat tightened. The old yes rose like a reflex. But she remembered the basket. She remembered the water. She placed a hand on her chest, as to steady the truth inside her, and she spoke slowly. "I'm sorry," she said. "I can't today." The woman frowned. "Why not?" Marisol felt the familiar urge to explain, to apologize endlessly, to prove she was still good. But she remembered something else. A no does not need a courtroom. A boundary is not a crime. So she answered gently. "Because I need rest," she said, "and I need time for my own life." The woman looked surprised, almost offended, then huffed and walked away. Marisol stood still. Her knees trembled. For a moment, she wondered if she had done something wrong. Then a strange thing happened. The sky did not fall. The market did not collapse. The world did not end. Marisol was still standing. And inside her, though fear remained, a quiet strength began to grow, like a seed finally given space. Later that day, a man called out, "Marisol, can you finish my order by tonight?" Marisol looked at him kindly. "I can't finish it for you," she said, "but I can show you how to do it." The man blinked. "That will take longer." Marisol nodded. "Yes," she said, "but you will learn, and you will not need to borrow my hands next time." He didn't like that answer, but he accepted it. And for the first time, Marisol noticed something important. Some people were not angry because she said no. They were angry because her no forced them to face their own responsibility. That evening, Marisol went home. She cooked a real meal. She watered her garden. She sat by her window and listened to the wind without feeling guilty for being still. And for the first time in a long time, her home felt like a place she lived, rather than a place she merely returned to, exhausted. Days passed. Marisol continued to help others, but differently now. She chose her yeses carefully, like selecting stones that truly mattered. And her no became something surprising, not a weapon, not a rejection, but a gate that protected what was sacred. One afternoon, she returned to the market fountain and found the old man again. She bowed her head slightly in respect. "I said no," she told him. The old man smiled. "And did you survive?" he asked. Marisol laughed softly, an unfamiliar warm sound. "Yes," she said, "I did." He nodded, pleased. "Then remember this," he said. "A healthy boundary is not the end of love. It is the beginning of honesty." Marisol looked at the fountain water. It flowed steadily, without guilt, without apology, giving but not vanishing. And she understood. Now, my friend listening today, let me ask you something. How many stones are in your basket? How many times have you said yes while your spirit quietly begged for no? How many promises have you made to keep peace with others while losing peace within yourself? Here is the lesson Marisol learned, simple but life-changing. You are not selfish for having limits. You are not cruel for protecting your energy. And you are not meant to be everyone's shelter while standing in the rain yourself. You can say no and still be kind. You can say no and still be loving. Because the deepest kindness is not always giving more. Sometimes the deepest kindness is telling the truth. And the truth might be, I can't today. I don't have the capacity. I need rest. I need space. I need to take care of my own life. A gentle no can save you from a future full of resentment. A gentle no can protect your health. A gentle no can teach others to stand on their own feet. And perhaps most importantly, a gentle no can return you to yourself. If you learned something today, or if Marisol's journey brought you even a small sense of calm, I invite you to stay connected with us. This is Small Stories, Big Healing. Short tales to soothe your heart and guide your steps. If this story should reach more people who are struggling with saying no, please don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might need this reminder, and comment below, what does saying no mean to you? Your one comment may encourage someone else who feels overwhelmed tonight. And if you'd like more stories that bring gentle comfort and insight, please subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next healing tale. Until then, let your yes be sincere, and let your no be peaceful. Small Stories, Big Healing will be here with another tale. Whenever your heart needs a gentle reminder,